Now, guys, today's video I'm going to be talking about visa interview questions. Alright, some of the questions you can encounter at the embassy. It doesn't matter which embassy you are, but just know that you can encounter some of these questions at the level of the embassy if you want to apply for a student visa to any country, being in US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Belgium, Netherlands, Switzerland, or whichever country, Austria. All right, just know that you can come across any of these questions. Now, I also want you to understand that the visa officials or the embassy officials are like psychologists. They read your mind, they read your mouth, they read your brain. All right, what anything you say, they are able to detect if you are actually saying the truth, or maybe you are saying something that doesn't make sense. All right. Now, the aim of the interview is they want to know if actually you are going to return. They want to know if actually you are going to return to your home country or remain in the country in which you want to immigrate to. That is the aim of the visa interview. Another issue is they want to know if actually you are able to take care of yourself while studying in this country. All right, remember, no person or no government wants liabilities in their country, so they want to know if you can take care of yourself and if you are going to return and what your intentions are. Maybe you just want to run away from your own home country or stuff. So these are very critical and crucial moments for you when you are applying for a student visa. Now, understand that there are some questions that may come up, all right, like maybe what is your purpose? What is your purpose of traveling to this country? Of course, you can answer this question as you are going into that country, or you are going into US to study a master's degree in this and this. Don't just say you are going into US to study. All right, try to elaborate a little more, because remember, this is an interview. If you give shallow answers, you may be knocked off. All right, now another thing they may ask you is what is your highest qualification or highest degree. If your highest degree is bachelor's degree, also tell them that your highest degree is a bachelor's degree in environmental engineering, but you are going to the United States to do a PhD in civil engineering. All right, try to elaborate more on your answers. Now, they might say that how many schools did you apply to? Because of course they know that a lot of international students, they usually apply to so many schools. So try to tell them the schools you apply to. The first thing again I want to draw your attention to here, when you are in front of a visa official or visa officer, do not lie. Remember, this is United States or maybe European Union you are going to, and they have your details in front of them. They will check your details. They are going to find out. If you lie, they will knock you off. Just tell them exactly what it is. You can now say that in case you applied for 8 schools in the United States and got accepted for 4, you can say that I applied to 8 schools in the USA. You may even attempt counting them, but I was given admissions for just 4 schools. Alright, you try, maybe name the names of the school, give the names of the schools that got you the admissions. Maybe Oklahoma State University, the University of Arizona, or Michigan State University, or Eastern Illinois University. Give examples, all right? Because of course they want to know if you know what you are actually doing. So if you prove yourself at the early stages of the interview by convincing the visa official, the remaining questions that he might have asked you, he may not ask, because he already knows that you already know what you are doing and where you want to go to. All right, so prove yourself by telling him exactly what you did. All right, then again, if you apply to a graduate school or a university, a university that is going to be doing research, and after these questions, that how many schools did you apply to, you may just explain a little more, and you may be asked what is your research interest. Don't apply to graduate schools without knowing the research interest in which you are going in for, or don't even go to the embassy without knowing what you are going to say. All right, you should be able to know the research fields you apply to. Maybe you apply, your research interest was for environmental science, maybe you applied for evolution biology or climate change, or maybe you applied for marine geology or stuff like that. All right, try to know all of these things. And now they will ask you which school are you going to now. In case you applied for so many schools and you got admissions into maybe 5 schools, all right, that is just an example, and you decided to go for one, make sure you give them the name of the university. For example, I am going to the University of Arizona to study a PhD in marine geology, all right. Try to elaborate the University of, or maybe I'm going to Purdue University East Campus to study marine geology. When you elaborate on things like this, they know that you know what you are doing. Again, they may ask you, did you have funding? Did you receive funding from the university? Again, let me quote here that if you didn't get funding from the university, all right, I'm just using US universities as an example. For example, if you didn't get funding, don't tell them that you got funding whereas you didn't. I am going to study in this university, but I did not get funding, though I applied for funding, but I was not given the funding opportunities or the funding, but I am going to take care of myself. I will pay my tuition fee and take care of myself. I'm capable of doing it through my uncle, who is Mr. This. He is my sponsor and is going to take care of me because he has been sponsoring me since when I was in high school or when I was in primary school and stuff like that. You understand? So you were asked if you had funding because they are asking you to know if actually you can take care of yourself while studying in this particular country. But now, since you didn't get the funding, you can now tell them that no, you didn't get the funding, but you can pay your own tuition fee via your uncle who has been sponsoring you for long. This is an elaborate answer to anybody who is intelligent, all right? So these are some of the things you should do. But if you got funding, say I got funding from this, I got funding which is equivalent to this. I got funding for 76,000 US dollars for my entire PhD program of 3 years. And or maybe if an organization gave you the funding, you are going to see the name of the organization because organizations do give funding to students in US. All right, you can mention the name of the organization. Remember, they have your documents with them. All right, they may not ask you your documents, but they have it with them. Yes, they have your data. So if you lie, they are going to get you. Then they may also ask you, why should we give you this visa? You should tell them that you deserve the visa because this visa is going to grant you opportunities to go to the US to study your PhD program and in terms come back to Nigeria or to Cameroon or to Ghana to teach in a university or maybe teach environmental engineering. In case you are going for environmental engineering, the degree is going to help you move to the US. The visa is going to help you move to the US. Then when you finish your program, you are going to gain a lot of knowledge. Then by moving back to Nigeria to teach in one of the state universities that you already admire to teach. You may give a name of your university that you were in, where you were, maybe you obtained your bachelor's degree back home, all right? And without this visa, you cannot get the necessary knowledge and the necessary research skills that you need, all right, to pursue your career. Or maybe without the visa, you cannot go to US to get the knowledge and come back and continue your work in your company you were working in. Remember, they are also trying to target you. They want to pull your legs to know if you will return back to your home country. For example, if you are from Nigeria, Cameroon, or South Africa, or whichever place, all right? So don't fall for them, all right? They will be pulling your legs. So be very vigilant. Try to elaborate more about the questions they are asking you, all right? Now, they may also ask you, where are you going to be staying? All right, they want to know if you already have an accommodation or not. It is now your turn to tell them that I am going to be staying on campus, in campus this in my university, or maybe I'm going to be living off campus in this apartment number on route this. Give the address of your accommodation. Or if you are going to be staying with somebody, tell them that I'm going to be staying with my friend who lives in this county or this. You understand? Give the address of the accommodation so that they know that you know where you are going to, because they don't want to give visas to people who don't know what they are actually doing. You should pay attention to these details. It's very, very important, all right? So know these things. Again, they may ask you, which professors are you going to work with? Of course, if you are going to graduate school, you should already have a professor, or maybe even if you don't have an advisor yet, like someone I know applied to a university and he already got an advisor. So if you must apply to US schools, of course, you will get an advisor, or if you get the admissions, they are going to assign you to an advisor or to a coordinator or someone you are going to be doing the research with. All right, you should know his name and say, I'm going to be working with Professor this, who is also a professor in this university teaching this field, or maybe I'm going to be working with Professor this, who is in the coordinator of this program, and he is also working with marine geology, or maybe maybe macroeconomics. You understand? Explain such of these things, because they will be on the website checking. They will be checking why they are asking you those questions. They are checking to see if actually you are saying something that makes sense, or maybe you don't know what you are doing. Remember, they want to know if you are actually going to the US to study and come back. All right, and if you actually know what you are doing, and of course they want to know if you just want to run away. So you should know all of these things, all right, because they are very, very important. So these are just some of the questions you may be asked, or they may also ask you things like, what are your future goals and careers? Of course, you explain to them that studying the PhD program is going to maybe help you teach your fellow citizens in your home university. You give the name of a university, or maybe you tell them you want to become a researcher in this, to try to combat this problem that is already affecting your own country. All right, give examples so that they can know that you are the boss. All right, without this, they will not be able to give you the visa in case they find out that you are just lying to them. All right, because visa officials, like I told you, they are specialists. They know when you are lying. They always try to understand every details. All right, so just try to be smart and don't give shallow answers, because shallow answers will make the interview very short, and of course your visa may have problems. Try to give lengthy answers, but again, say things that make sense. All right, if you are going to Europe and they are asking you, why did you decided to study in Belgium and not in Finland, you should be able to defend yourself by saying that you try to check most of the universities and you realize that this particular university you applied for has the best fit for you in terms of research, in terms of courses, in terms of curriculum, and maybe advantages of research, and this is going to help you to study when you finish the program in your home country, Cameroon, or maybe Ghana or Nigeria. All right, so these are some of the petty things you should put into consideration when applying for a student visa. It can be United States, it can be Canada, it can be Australia, it can be Finland, Belgium, maybe Switzerland, Czech Republic, or Austria. All right, just know that these are some of the questions you may get along the way, and it is going to be easier if you actually think well, if you study well. All right, so these are some of the things you should pay attention to.